So let's just start out with, with some basics. I know you've got 5-star reviews on all the platforms, Google over 100 reviews, Realtor.com, Zillow. So just tell us a little bit about your business.
I do have a couple specialties. I work in the divorce field, like you said. I have a designation. It's called RCSD, and it's a real estate specialist for divorce designation. Here, I collaborate with divorce attorneys and family law attorneys. And also, I'm a seniors real estate specialist. I help families and individuals move into retirement homes or into their next phase in life and lifestyle. And then, of course, I also have a general practice here in San Diego.
Yeah, for sure. And we say San Diego, I'm sure much like Cleveland, you serve the surrounding areas as well. So can you give people an idea of the geographic area that you serve?
Yes, I would love to. So my office is located in Metro San Diego, specifically in Bankers Hill in the downtown area of San Diego. I do serve clients all over the county of San Diego, and it's actually one of the largest counties in San Diego. I serve South Bay, which is Chula Vista, East Lake, also East County, Lakeside, El Cajon, even all the way up to Alpine, North County Inland, that would be Poway, even as far north as Escondido, and then on North County Coastal, on that side of the county, we have Del Mar, Solana Beach, Encinitas, Carlsbad, and so forth.
Got it.
So those are areas. Specifically, I'd say I specialize in the metro area, all surrounding areas, and that includes North Park, South Park, and also Point Loma.
I want to transition a little bit to what we were talking about as the pillars of your business, because I think a lot of agents hear divorce attorneys, that sort of section of the market. Oh, I want to get into that. So to hear you say that you're doing it, I would love for you to talk a little bit about like how you did it. How did you get into that segment and how you're generating business from it?
I would love to share. So it was, I believe, in 2017, 2018. At the time, I was working my general sphere of influence. I was working my past clients. At the time, I had already been in business about 12 years. So I have a good book of business in terms of my past clients. But I felt I really wanted to build out a recession-proof business and business that is always there. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now in San Diego. To give you an example, we have 45% less transactions than we had in the past few years.
Wow.
So having a recession-proof business, I believe, is very important. So who has always where are the transactions when everyone else is not moving anymore? We always divorce, we always get married, we always have children, and we always get older and have to move. So these two niches appear to be a really good opportunity to have a stable lead pillar. And so this I want to share with everyone are lead pillars that probably take about the longest, because you really want to nurture the relationships here. Specifically in the divorce arena, you want to nurture the relationships with family law attorneys and family mediators. And building the base of trust with them is not going to happen overnight. Not at all. It takes years. And it's very likely that they have established relationships already. So to really get a foot into that industry, it takes very consistent work, being consistently in front of the service providers you want to work with, and building a relationship of trust. And so I'd say that that's a 5-year strategy. It really takes time. You might have some transactions that come from that in the meantime, but in general, I'd say it takes practice and it takes time, and nurturing those relationships is very, very important.
So nurturing the relationships makes sense. Can you give us a specific, like if I'm a new agent and I know of a divorce attorney or a firm, like how, do I just go knock on the door? Do I just like how do I do it? How do I start
Yeah.
that relationship?
Great question. Yes. So, of course, there's always the possibility to meet someone that is in that business that already has a foot in it in a little bit, and start networking. Maybe that professional will take you to other events and will introduce you, and you will introduce that professional in other areas. Generally, how I start relationship is giving them referrals. And so it's natural for them to want to give referrals back to me. So that's really how I started that. Also, I am part of a franchise. They're called Second Saturday workshops. Every second Saturday, we get together with a panel. There is a litigator, so a family law attorney that does mostly litigation in court. There's a mediator, there's a parent coordinator, there is a divorce financial analyst, and also a divorce coach. So all of us come together. We are holding a workshop every second Saturday, and there's a presentation that we go through. We do advertisement for these workshops, and we get guests into the workshop and answer their questions and give our short presentations. So that's
Love
a
it.
great opportunity as well, to be able to get in and get in front of the end consumers and the end clients that you end up serving.
This is solid gold, Melina. You're dropping gold nuggets here. So, for me, I'm also a big networker. I'm in my BNI, my Business Networking International chapter. I love that you started that whole sentence with sphere of influence, because frankly, your sphere of influence probably knows people in those categories that you're trying to break into. So talk to the
Totally.
people you know and say, hey, I'd love to meet a divorce attorney, especially if you know someone. Chances are you know someone who's gone through a divorce. Hey, who was your divorce attorney, and do you think they did a great job? I would love to meet them. So I love that you mentioned SOI first. I think you did a great job explaining that. So let's shift gears over to the senior specialty, unless you have anything to add. But the same thing there. I mean, obviously, we know great source of business. Those folks are downsizing or right sizing, as they say. They usually have a home to sell. Sometimes they're buying a condo, whatever. About that pillar and how you build that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's very similar here. It definitely takes years to grab a good foundation in that aspect or in that niche with your referral partners and your network partners. We all know there is a designation or a certification by the National Association of Realtors out there. It's called Seniors Real Estate Specialist. I believe that's how I started in 2017. I got that certification. And so that kind of gave me an additional credibility speaking with other service partners. And then I started to go to a lot of network meetings. And a lot of those very initial contacts I made 5 years ago, I'm still in touch with them. And I really start noticing that, the trust takes time to build. They want to feel comfortable and confident when they refer you. It only makes sense. It's the same for me.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And I think that I know that a lot of agents say, well, I'm going to dial the phones and I'm going to get business. And agents that are, I think we're wired the same way, that we're about building the relationships, maybe even more of a Brian Buffini model, right? It's all about building the relationships and the trust and so forth. So if you were a new agent and you wanted to be more of a relationship marketer, do you have like one or two pieces of advice that you would give them as first steps? So they're sitting there going, I love that these guys are doing this. I love that they're not having to cold call and they've built this sphere of business. But if you had to give one or two like first steps in heading down that road, what would they be?
That's a good question. So I would, in the beginning, go anywhere and everywhere where people meet out of that niche. And then once I have a good amount of contacts made, I would go through those contacts and ask myself, who did I connect best with? Because the reality is we can't connect with everyone, right? There's some people that we just feel connected to and some people we just aren't. And there's nothing wrong or there's nothing wrong with it. It's just some people we're a bit more connected with.
Yep.
And so, how we say like our vibe attracts our tribe, right? So yeah,
Yes.
and I would focus on those and stay closely connected with the people that you love already, that you already feel that connection with, and nurture the relationship from there. Like I said, one thing that I really love doing is I like to be listening out anywhere and everywhere for opportunities that I can refer to them or another person where I can introduce them. What can I contribute? And it comes natural for them to want to contribute back. So that's really where I start. And so, and even maybe organizing like little meetings where you make introductions where you bring two people together. And so
That's
you
right.
kind of filter out the gigantic group of professionals to like a few that you really connect with well, bringing those together and then networking from there. And I mean, the fruits of your labor will pay off regardless. You can start making contributions from there. And a lot of times in the beginning, I noticed that I would get a call, just a simple question, or hey, this is not really, a job opportunity or a listing opportunity or anything for you, but it's just someone that wants to kind of bounce some ideas, and just being available for that as well. I find really, really important. Another thing is that these professionals that are, have been in the business for a very long time, they will look up your name online. So I have found that a lot of the professionals will bump into me at some event or at some network meeting or somewhere, and then they will look me up at some point, and next time I see them, they would comment on something that they found on me online, about me online. So the online presence helps foster that trust relationship that you're building. So Google your name and see what comes up, and make sure it fits your personality and your business. I do believe that's very important, because it does really speak. It is an online business card, that whatever is out there, whatever you're presenting
Yeah.
online. So that is definitely important that you build that out at the same time.
So I'm going to sum that up in three things. You said find your tribe. That's what Tom Ferry says. Find the people that
Yeah.
you connect with. Number two, there's a phrase in BNI, we say givers gain. So lead with what can I do for you? You
Mhm.
don't walk in the room and say, hey, everybody, I'm a realtor. Who's got referrals for me, right? First, you want to
Yeah.
give. So give some kind of value. And number
Mhm.
three, social media. And I'll even take it a little more specific and say video. That's how people get to know you. I love video. So I
Yeah.
looked you up and I saw you were on every platform and very well represented there. But I would even push a little further and say video, like Tom's been screaming at us for a decade, right? So
Absolutely,
gosh, Melina, that
100%.
was yeah, I mean, wow, such good stuff. And I especially like it because you are basically agreeing with everything I say, so you must be right.
Well, we're in the same culture too, right, with Tom. But yes, so but I would say so I have had plenty of opportunities where I walk into an appointment and I already had won the opportunity because of my online presence.
Yeah, people feel like they already know you, which is really amazing.
Exactly right.
So,
Exactly
hey,
right.
listen, yeah, so I want to kind of wrap this up. I wanted to kind of do one last thing here, ask you for final thoughts, if you have any, and then of course, we'll have all your contact info here if anyone needs help in San Diego or surrounding areas. But final thoughts, and then please let us know just verbally how we get in touch with you.
Oh yeah, I would love to. So final thought, I think we did actually have some really good nuggets in the conversation. Thank you so much for asking me these specific questions. There's one thing I always like to share, and I'm sure you've heard it plenty as well, but that is, it is not how, it is who. So if you need help with something, remember always that we're in the business of selling homes. We don't need to figure out all the back end of everything. So always keep that in front of you. So if there's something you can't figure out about social media or technology or anything like that, don't ask yourself how, but ask yourself who can help me. I think specifically nowadays in our business, we need to, before we even get into the business for a new agent, we need to know that we need to have a certain budget to invest into our business.
Good. And lastly, of course, how do we get in touch with you? We'll have it on the screen, but I wanted you to go ahead and rattle off whatever contact information you'd like to throw out there.
Yeah, so I would love for you to text me if you have any questions. My phone number is 619-865-6017. My name is Melina Rizzone, Rissone. You can simply Google me and check out what you find on the online presence. I would love your feedback. Constructive feedback is great. I love it too. You can literally find me on any of your favorite platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I would love it if you subscribed on YouTube and stayed up to date with my videos. That would be really lovely.
Yeah, I did exactly that. I Googled your name and they all came up. So you've done a great job. 100 plus 5-star reviews on Google. Melina Rizzone, I can't thank you enough. You have set the new standard for the best advice ever. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity. Super. Thank you.
Of course.